This video is to show you how to draw landscape outside drawings in perspective. First thing you need to do is take your sketchbook or your paper. I have my sketchbook here, and I'm going to lay my ruler across, and I'm going to draw right in the center my horizontal line. So I've drawn my horizontal line, and right in the center of that I'm going to put my vanishing point. Now, to the side, draw down in the forefront or the foreground, draw a very simple tree. Do not get elaborate and draw your tree with lots of branches. Just draw a simple tree. Make sure you draw the tree coming up over the horizon line. That will make it easier for you to see. Next, draw an X on the far points of your tree. Make sure you also draw a point at the top of the trunk and at each of the bottom of the trunks. With your ruler, you're now going to take and draw a projection line from each of these X points to the vanishing point. So I'm going to line up my ruler with my vanishing point, line up my ruler with my X, and I'm going to draw that line. Go to the next one, line up with my vanishing point, line up with my X on my tree, draw the line. Go to the next X on my tree, line it up with the vanishing point, and draw my line. These lines are called projection lines. They're projecting where this X is toward the vanishing point, and you're going to see how that helps you with your perspective. Notice this line goes above the horizon line. Next, project this one. Notice that this line goes through the tree. That's an interesting thing we'll talk about later. And oops, I forgot this one. Draw the projection line from that X to your vanishing point. And last, we're going to draw from the vanishing point to the projection line. So this is called the vanishing point. This is the point that all our lines vanish to or converge on our horizon line. This is our horizon line, and these are our projection lines that are projecting the X of our object or a point from our object to the vanishing point. Now, I want to be able to draw a bunch of trees as if there are a row of trees going back to my vanishing point. And I'm going to use these lines, these projection lines, to help me. So, I notice that this trunk of my tree right here starts at this line, and it goes to this line. Not this line goes to this point, and I'm not going to look at that point. I'm just going to look at this line right here, and I'm going to move along to here, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to draw this trunk angle from there up to where it meets on the line that projects from it. This line right here projects that point. Now I'm going to come over here. This line, this side of the trunk projects from this line to here. So I'm going to move along, and I'm going to imitate that line to where it goes here. Alright, I have now projected my tree, or my tree trunk, to the projection line. Now I'm going to take this point, it follows along this line. Oh, that's easy because that's the same point we used for the trunk. And notice how this curve projects to this line. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to curve it up to here. Now it projects up to this line right here. See where the X comes? So I'm going to continue on, have it circle around. Now it projects to this. Continue on. Now it goes behind the tree. So I don't need to draw that because I'm just going to assume that my tree is covering it. And this goes behind the tree too, and I don't need to worry about that, so I'm going to erase that. And I now see a tree. Now if I want to do a tree that's been projected, if I want to do that again, I'm going to follow this line right where my original tree is. I'm going to follow that line, and I'm going to go up a little ways more, and the trunk projects back up to this one. Follow that along, and I'm going to draw my tree trunk. I'm going to go to the other side. This one is the line, and it projects to this one. So I'm going to go there. Now I'm not going to see it through my tree, so I'm going to project it to there. Notice how it ends. All these trunks end on the same line. That's my secret. Let's project this one up. Here it is. Projects to this line, so I'll go around. I'm going to continue projecting it up to where, whoops, I should probably make that a little bit more round. Project it up, back around, and now I see I have another tree. And I can continue doing this, making sure that those lines follow on those projection lines. Now notice my tree did not go above that line, because that's the height of my tree. So now I have my trees in order, and I have a row of trees. If I erase these lines, my projection lines, you will see that it now looks like I have a row of trees Let's put a road in here. I'm going to draw a line from my vanishing point and over. So it looks like a road, and if I want to draw the lines in the road, I start at the vanishing point and I'm going to go. Now the lines in the road have a break in them, and we come from the vanishing point. Draw a line straight across. And there you see a road. Let's do the other side with the trees, just so we can practice doing them. Once again, I will draw my tree. Here's my trunk. Here's my tree. Now because I did it simple, and I just made a round tree, it's very easy to project it. It doesn't take me much time. But if I put all the branches and leaves and stuff in there, it would take me a lot longer to project. I mark my X, draw it to my vanishing point, take my other X where the trunk hits the leaves. Whoops! Oh, Mrs. Humrick, you did not line it up with the vanishing point. Let's erase that. Line it up with the vanishing point. My farthest point right here on my tree. Go to the next one. Draw my projection line from that point of the tree to my vanishing point. Once again. Projection point from the X on my tree to the vanishing point. From the X on the top of the trunk. Oh, looks like there's a ton of lines. And because we've kept it simple, there are a few lines, but if we made it really complicated, if we made a tree complicated, we'd have a lot more lines. Alright, so remember, you're going to start at the bottom of this trunk, follow up the line. So here's the bottom of my trunk line, and I'm going to go to where it meets the top of my trunk line, which is right there, this line. Now, a lot of times students will go like this. Is that the way the tree is? And then they draw this one like this. Nope. The tree actually stands straight, so make sure that when you draw the trunk of your tree, you go up and you're going to draw it so that it comes straight like this. Go to the next top of my trunk and it comes like this. Okay? Here's a clue. Anything in one point perspective that's horizontal stays horizontal. See how that's straight? 1 point perspective. See straight there, it went a little bit lower. I could have come down a little bit, but it's close to a tree. Alright, now here is my point. I projected it here. I'm now going to take this part of my tree and I'm going to go around to this point. So I'm going to go to that point and I'm going to come up to this point where I projected it. Notice I'm not going above that line because my tree doesn't go above that line. That's the height that it goes. Remember when we learned about projection, it gets smaller the closer it gets to the vanishing point. Notice how these lines get smaller as they get closer to the vanishing point. You saw it in our mystery drawing. Let's do another tree. So I follow the trunk up to here. I just want to do it there. I just pick that, go up to my other, draw my tree trunk, come here to this point, draw my tree trunk down to the line that matches up there. Once again, I match to where that is. There. Go all the way up to the top. Do not go above this line because that's how the trees are. Let's do another one. Notice how it gets smaller the farther away it goes. Not only does it get smaller this way, it gets smaller this way in the height. Here's my next tree, and I can continue and do okay. I have now drawn a road with trees projected going down toward my vanishing point. Your first assignment is to draw a landscape with the trees. You need to have at least 4 trees on each side. So you must have 4 trees on this side and 4 trees on this side, going to a center vanishing point with your horizon line across. That's the first assignment. That's what I expect to see.